Right, so friends, I thought I would be a bit festive for you for today's a gift to November. That's why I'm here. I'm filming for you my part of the vlogger's journey for a gift to November. The whole idea is that this doesn't have to be about making Christmas presents. It's just a time of thinking about creating for others, thinking about any kind of event where you want to gift. Thank you to Adam Sows and the other people who are linked below who set this up. There will be intro things at the beginning, but it's another wonderful one of those challenges that we love to take part in. And today is my entry in helping you to think about what you might want to create. This is my second outfit and my third location. If you want to have a little chuckle at the end, I'll put a bloopers at the end. The original outfit I put on was not working, and now I put this one on. Typically the weather has now changed, so it's just going to be one of those days today, and I can tell you now I'm pretty chilly, but this was the best place I could find to film you my vlog today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a funny story first. I've always loved making gifts for others, and I think I got that from my dad. My dad's always loved making gifts for others. A very long time ago he made me a wooden cutout frame, and he once made me like a box to keep all my watercolour paints in, and he put my name on the top. And he's done other things for other people, and he's just one of those people that likes to just do little thoughtful gifts. And my mum's done it. She once gave me a basket that she'd stitched a cover into with pockets to make a sewing basket for me. And I've always brought my stepdaughter up to enjoy the joy of giving to others. So we've made soaps, we've made like moisture balms that sort of melt in your hand, so do let me know if you're interested in those. We've made like homemade crackers, things like that, and there's just a joy in thinking about what other people like and creating them. And so I thought I'd think back over some of my sort of gifting journey, but the bit I'm not going to think back to is the fact that I once had a family member, when they gave their Christmas list, say, I would like this, this, this or this, but no handmade gifts this year, please. Yes, I know, we're all pretty shocked because most people love a little handmade gift, but I can tell you there are some people out there that don't. So let's start with sort of little family gifts or things to people that we want to let them know sort of really mean something, or that sort of thing. And there is a special type of fabric you can get which you can put for your printer, and you can print photos and images on it. You can get an iron-on version, but I actually like the version that's more like a soft canvas, and you can cut it out and then you can stitch with it. And I've made over the years, they're almost like sort of fabric versions of Polaroids. And so I take felt and I create a felt square, and I actually write on the back in Sharpie the date. You could embroider that on, and then on the front I cut out a felt frame, and then this is printed fabric, so it is a lovely sort of fabric thing, and I use rickrack for the hook. And each year, for quite a few years, I would choose a picture from the year which I would print out, stitch into the felt frame, and I would make a series of those to give to people who I knew would like that. It means each year, at whatever the festive holiday is that you might celebrate, or how you decorate your home, you can bring them back out to use. So there's one like this, and I would vary them from year to year. So I did one like that one year. I love a bit of a pinking sheer edge on them as well. That one slipped a bit there, but there's that way round. And then one year I did slightly different. I did put a lot of beads around the edge and some embroidery like this, and a different hook. And then another year I did it so you could actually see the border, so I did it like this, and I actually put then a little object on, and I actually used a little felt bit at the back to cover where that was. And then another year I did it like this, like that, so I sandwiched the rickrack between the two, and again stitched around the edge. I think if you're looking for a little something for people who want to remember sort of the growing up or important things. You could put pets in them, or like funny sort of memories from the year. They could easily be hung across a wall on a chain like a photo thing, and you don't even have to do them. Obviously I did them mostly in the classic Christmas colours, but you could easily do these as a birthday gift of photos that someone would like. And I think it just takes it to a new place that you can add things on. My sewing machine now actually stitches words and numbers, so I could even stitch on the year on there. I do think it does help if you put the year on, because sometimes we can forget with photos what year things were. And I know we've got people who are close to us that get these out each year. So this is something you could easily think about doing and creating. I will do a search and look for where you can get this printable fabric. I've had it for years. Remember which way around you need to put it in the printer. Little tip for that when you do that is put a normal bit of paper and put a big cross on it on the top, and then see where that cross ends up. Does it get printed on, or is it on the back? And then you'll know which way around to put the fabric in. That's always a little trick there. But it's great, this printable fabric, and because they're not going to be washed lots, you don't have to worry about that. But it does absorb the colour well. What I would say is, before you print the picture, do lighten it more than you think you would, because it becomes quite dark in the printing. So other little bits like that. I do love a bit of felt when making things, is to make some felt ornaments. Again, making these for other people, you could personalize them with initials, you could do them in colors they like. You can do all sorts of these to make them feel that they're specifically for someone. And I know in our family we like each year around Halloween and Christmas to get one extra thing, so that over time things grow, and when we get them back out we remember. So if someone's moved house, you could make a little felt house. If someone has got themselves a new boat, or that's quite extravagant, isn't it, or a new pet or something, it's just a great way of making a little personalized memory of those. I know some people like to put Easter trees out. I bought, oh, here comes the sun, let's hope we can manage. It's just going to be one of those vlogs today. So I know that I bought some friends some Eid cutters when it was when they were having their festival. I found them in a French supermarket, but you could cut around those to do little table decorations with. So a little something. And I just stuff these with leftovers of fabric scraps, particularly if you've got like an overlocker, and all those bits that come off would be perfect in them. So those sorts of things work well as little sort of they're like mementos, aren't they? Now we're going to go festive for a second. Bear with me if it's not for you for Christmas. Is table decorations or mantelpiece decorations. So I'm going to put some pictures in here, some finished ones, but I love making these. So you make a cone. It's felt again, I know. You could make them out of fabric, but you make a cone, which is actually a semicircle, and I've made a template, and I make bigger and smaller ones. And then you make a base. You've got two choices. You can fully stitch it visible, you could do like a blanket stitch, or you could stitch the majority of it and turn it through and then just close it. Again, stuff it with all those scraps. If you don't have any scraps, you can get proper stuffing or use cushion stuffing, rip open an old cushion, but I'm always on the lookout for ways to use scraps. So you do that, so you end up with a softy sort of triangle that can look like a Christmas tree. It can look like all sorts of things. You can then decorate it. I've done them with pom-poms on. I've stuck on like ribbon around them. And if you're feeling super fancy, you can make a range of sizes, and you then can gift those to people as decor. They're great like table centerpiece, they're great on the mantelpiece, and if they've got pets or young children, they're not a decoration that's going to break. I actually made one year for my niece and nephews, and I actually took them to bed like a soft toy Christmas tree. So they are a great way, and you could easily make them into things for other events as well by what you decorate them with and what colour you do, and you could fit them to someone's colour scheme. And if you're feeling super fancy, what you could do to create the table centrepiece as a gift is actually make a table runner or a placemat to match with them. I've made lots of these of gifts and they've been very, very popular because depending on what colour you do, as I say, I will put pictures in here, but I just wanted to show you they're quite straightforward to make, and people do love to decorate their house with things that someone has created for them. It feels so much more personal. But if you know someone's decor colours, you can choose the right colours for them. Another thing you could make somebody, but if people don't make themselves, is a Christmas tree skirt. I know these are not necessarily things you would give on Christmas Day if you celebrate Christmas, but actually we like to sort of send like pre-Christmas presents like to family to sort of say we're thinking of them. It could be part of an advent calendar. It could be, we often send like a Christmas book to our niece and nephew to read in the build up to Christmas. So you could send this in the build up. So it's felt, I know, but you could make a Christmas tree skirt, and I cut out lots of trees and appliqued them on. And that again, you could go with the colour scheme. You could make a whole little collection for somebody, or you can give these sorts of things on Christmas Day because people will use it for future years. You could do like a little table runner or tablecloth of that style as well. One of the other things that I really like to make as gifts are cushions, and I make them out of sort of embroidery that I've done, and then I create into a cushion, and I do that based on things that I know people like. So I will put pictures in here because they've all been gifted. And I've done I did talk about this a little bit before in a previous video, but I have done cushions of like sort of favourite t-shirts. So someone bought my stepdaughter a t-shirt when she was little, and when she grew out of it, I actually appliqued over it on some wadding and made it into a cushion, and gave it as a gift because it was like a nice memory of that special time. If someone bought a tea towel back from somewhere, you could make that into a cushion. And if you want to next level it, or extra detail, put some wadding on the back of like a tea towel and then stitch round like the shape of the country, or stitch round the image, and suddenly it makes it more sort of interesting. And the same with, you could make some cushion covers that fit with the festival that you're celebrating, and you could give those as gifts. I'll put some pictures in here. So I am aware that a lot of the things that I'm suggesting are sort of decor based gifts, but I do think that lots of us like to change our home decor to fit the time of year, and this is a nice way that each year when someone gets those out, they think of you and what you gifted to them. Now the next suggestion I've got is actually little wallets and little zippy pockets. I'll put pictures in here as well. These have always gone down an absolute storm when I've made these and given these as gifts. I've made them for men because men can be quite tricky to make for, and I have got Star Wars fabric or superhero fabric or bike fabric or whatever it is that they like, because it can be hard for men to find little pouches and little wallets that they can carry around in their rucksacks. And I know someone who needs to just carry around a little bit of medication with them everywhere they go, and rather than it being in a horrible plastic bag or in a huge big wash bag, I just made a little small popper wallet that they could carry them around in, and it's easy to go in a bag, and people don't think anything of it when they see it, but it's soft and it doesn't make a horrible noise, and it just feels a bit more personal. And so they're a great gift, because if you think about, and I'll put some pictures in here of the great fat quarters that you can get if you go to quilting shops, there's always some for different movies and cartoons and hobbies. You can really personalise a gift with the fabric that you choose. I once knew someone who loved cycling, and I found this amazing Japanese quilting fabric that had a bike design on it. I've found, like, I once made one using, like, it had like mathematical symbols over it for someone. So it's a great way of saying, I know something about you, and here's a special gift for you. You could then take that to the next level by making little zippy bags. I will do a little vlog about how to make these two things, but you could just look it up if not. But zippy bags again are great because most wash bags are either quite big or quite heavy or very sort of plastic coated, but sometimes people want just a smaller sort of, oh, here comes the sun again, the smaller like little zippy bag. And I actually made presents before of like 3 sizes all in the matching set. And I once went away last year with my friend who I've been friends with a long time, and out of her bag came a little zippy pouch I'd made her about 10 years ago. A while ago I went into my mum's bathroom and the one I'd made her was still there on the side. So those sort of usable gifts, particularly where you can choose a fabric that someone will like, or you can use up scraps you've got or colours that you know you like, really helps to make it sort of feel quite personal. I'm very aware that when it comes to gift giving of any type of festivity, it can get quite busy. So what I have tried to suggest in my gift to November are sort of doable things that are not too big, or that you could get other people in your family to join in with, but feel personal when you give them. You could extend that to like covers, so like sunglass covers, iPad covers, those sorts of things, or bookmarks. So on that little sort of journey of matching items, you could easily take that fabric then. Bookmarks are great because again you can do a bookmark top with wadding underneath, stitch across it, and then put the other bit on, turn it through. So if you think about how you make like a cushion or a pillow, I will put some links below because I've found all of these in the past and looked them up. You can do the same with like a sunglasses case, but if you gave someone like a little set that had a couple of little bits in it, it feels quite personal then that you've made like a matching set. And you can always then embroider an initial or put a lovely label on. If you get your own labels printed, you could have that on like a gift. Like I've seen lovely ones like a gift from grandma or a gift from auntie. And I know that thinking about my niece and nephew, they're big time into Pokemon. I've seen Pokemon fabric, so creating them a little one like that would be brilliant. I'll put a picture in here of what our American friends and my lovely American friends out there like to call a mug rug. So it's sort of a rug that you can then put on like a coffee table or a side, which you can put your mug on, and you can almost fit like a little plate with a biscuit on. They've actually become like a mini work of art, and I did a swap with someone. I'll put it in here. But again, these would be a lovely gift because you could do it in a design of something someone likes. You could even go back to the printable fabric and put a pet or something on there as well, or even the year or a special message that you could put on. And that's nice because people can have that on their coffee table all year round and think of you when they see it and think of the special thing that you've created for them. I think that you could then take that to a it's like a book cushion. So it's a cushion cover, but it has an extra patch on the front. I'll put one in here where you can tuck a book in. So it's like you can carry your cushion around to snuggle on and your book lives in there too. Or on your bed, you can tuck it in to create like a nice tidy effect. That would be a lovely way of creating a cushion that you could then put a book that's a gift in as well, and your handmade bookmark in there, and it would be like a sort of a 3-in-1 gift. There's lots and lots of choices, but I do hope that the suggestions I've made for you are useful. I will try and upload a few days after this some tips on how to make some of these. So this is sort of my ideas one, and then I'll do a how-to one. But I do hope that you like what I've suggested, and I would love your comments below on whether you're going to have a go at any of them, whether you've got some ideas from what I've said, what you're planning to do as well. I always love to hear what people are up to and what you're going to do. You could also tag me on Instagram with what you've made, because I would love to see. And don't forget again to put the hashtag a gift for November 23 on your makes as well, and I believe there may be prizes as well for the gifts. I think I can't remember, but I will put an intro and the details below. Just for one of those days today with too many outfits and too many weather, and my toes are cold right now, but I hope you're having a great November, and I will catch you soon. Bye.